Hey, this is Budsy. I'm scheduled to have a meeting with my or actually one of my roommates, two of my roommates, one's the landlord, about the house rules. So, and I'm not sure how this is going to go down, but it's probably going to go down. So, anyway, let's see, where's my. I got a meeting, right? Yeah, meeting, interview actually. What did I do with my? Not sure where my wallet is. Maybe I left it. I don't think I left it downstairs. Maybe it's in the car. Probably in the car. Oh, there it is. Nope, that's not it. Anyway, I'm going to go have a meeting with my two roommates. So, what y'all want to talk about?
Just want to have like an official conversation about like house rules and stuff.
Uh-huh.
I made a little thing in notes here, but I'm realizing I was trying to pick things that are literally written on the house rules addendum.
Uh-huh.
Okay, let me back up. So I just want to say thank you for stopping using this living room as your office.
Uh-huh.
It's made a difference. Are you here with me?
Pardon me?
11:30, right?
Yeah, I got to. Yeah.
So, 15 minutes. You kind
of. Okay.
So I just want to say thanks for that, and
I didn't realize it was a problem, but if it is, I'm used to. That was where I was used to doing work when I had the apartment. That was it.
Yeah, well, the only reason it's a problem is because nobody else feels like comfortable to do anything else. Because like you're on the phone and you're doing business, and it's like it's just not appropriate, like an appropriate place to kind of do business. Because this, like, if this is the day room, right?
Uh-huh.
That means someone should be able to talk on the phone or turn on the TV or make noise in the kitchen or whatever. And if you're on the phone doing business, it puts a hamper on everybody.
I don't have, well. Like I said, when you came in, I guess it was last week or so, and you were screaming.
Oh, that was like 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it was 3. Okay. Anyway, you were excited, and
yeah, and part of that was also like a side communication to you because I'm sick of not being able to talk in my own house because every time and anyway, that's already been handled. So, thank you. Is my point. But I mean, I don't feel like we really need to talk about it again unless you intend to come back downstairs.
Okay. No. I do realize that y'all probably want me out of here.
Yeah. So, okay. So that's why, and I also just want to be clear that my intention is to be, like, you're not the only one who needs to follow rules, okay? I just, there are sometimes concessions made for certain types of problems, as I'm making, as well. Like, I'll make those, but it needs to be, like, this is something that if you keep doing is going to cost money some way or another. So it has to change. And my concern is just that there is no name calling and yelling that has to happen when these things are addressed. Because I have made Jeff my second in command, and you've sort of challenged me like, well, he's not the boss, right? And it's like, well, he's not the boss because I'm the final word on stuff. But he and I are compatible when it comes to most of the things around here. Like his cleanliness habits are even more strict than my own. My cluttering free habits are stricter than his, right? So like, but he enforces, or is trying to enforce my rules, and it's just basically for our comfort. Because when I accepted your application to be here, the biggest reason why was because I assumed that your dental surgeon history and your food handling license and stuff would make you like super clean.
What are you referring to?
Oh,
Because I've seen a bunch of crumbs on the counter in here, and over here. When I came in the other night at midnight and made something to eat, Jeff was making a sandwich, and it wasn't that big a deal, but I guess I interrupted his television marathon. He's up all night watching TV, which is fine. I mean, if he wants to do that, that's fine. It does disturb me a little bit. What really disturbed?
Well, what's disturbing you?
The noise. What's really
you can hear it.
Yeah. What really disturbs me? Well, if I turn on the fan and the air conditioner, it drowns it out. But really, what disturbs me is the garage door opening and closing several times a night. And I'm right. The bedroom where I'm at is right above that. I didn't know what it was initially, but it happens. Was it 2-3 times a night? And
yeah, I've been leaving my car in the driveway to cool down before I put it in the garage, and then I've been waiting too late. I didn't have to wait 4 hours before I opened it and put it back in the garage.
Okay.
So.
Well, that's. I didn't want to say anything, but I do realize that I disturbed y'all at midnight when I came in after I made quesadillas.
I don't recall this.
You said, Jeff texted you, and
I don't know what you're talking about.
You came out and said something. Who's up at this time?
I don't know.
You may have been sleepwalking or something, but you did.
I mean, when people are loud, when they wake me up, I'll sometimes yell something out the door. Or if they're burning something, were you burning pieces of something?
No.
Okay, because that will wake me up sometimes if the house fills with a smell like that. So I'm not sure what you're talking about. It must have been some kind of noise or something.
Yeah, I was cleaning up, and
I might have said it sounded like someone was banging around in the kitchen. Like from my room, sometimes I hear kitchen noises, but if you're not just closing things like quietly, it sounds to me from where I am that it's being banged. So I think I remember that now.
Yeah, or if you're, like I found out when I got here, was if you're banging pots and pans and cleaning stuff, she hears.
Yeah, and I had to, so it was quesadillas and the cheese flip. I mean, it ended up, I had to scrape it with a steel wool, and I was soaking it. It was more problems than I had planned on. So.
Is that real silvery looking pan? Not my good pan.
No, it's not the good one. Okay. It's that it's made in China. I know that.
Yeah, I think it's whatever that stainless steel.
Yeah. I know not to use your good pan because that's your pan.
Yeah.
So
okay. Thanks. So personally for me, I have just witnessed you. I'm not seeing as much as Jeff is seeing, but I've been seeing evidence, and I've just personally witnessed you not present when you're sometimes like making crumbs. Like I've seen you a few times, and it's just been like, and this is where I just feel like that incompatibility lies. But the problem is if you stay here, you know, the longer you stay here, the more of those kind of incidences are probably going to get collected, just because naturally you're operating at a different level. It's not bad, it just doesn't really work here because the standards are higher here. And then we need to be able to express and you know, have the standards be respected without you getting enraged. And I mean, you could get mad, but like yelling or name calling, it makes it hard to talk to you, which makes it so much worse. Because it's like, I wouldn't say that the problems are so bad, but I would say they're bad enough because talking to you about it is a hardship. Like, you get that?
I'm not yelling now, am I?
No, you're not.
Okay.
But I mean, I don't think he's afraid of you, but I'm afraid of you yelling at me, and so I avoid it. But I see things a lot. With other roommates, I would just sort of nag them, you know, until I find them, and then they would kind of get it. But with you, I don't like to talk to you about it because I don't want to, unless I'm in this very focused, diplomatic, mental place. I know that I could just scream about stuff, and I'm not trying to start a fight because that doesn't get anyone anywhere. You know what I mean? It's just, but it does, this bothers me, you know, and it's some type of spice. And you,
I think that is mine. I was using
yeah.
I mean,
it might seem like a small thing, but when it's always happening, and it adds up, you know. There's also other things, there's things that are on the wood in this area, you know, there's some kind of film here. I don't know what it is, but I know I didn't do it, and it's me and you who sit here, you know. And so I know my wood's not in perfect condition, but I don't want it to get in worse condition. This is water or some type of liquid spilled here.
well, normally I wipe this area down over here with the sponge because I noticed crumbs over there.
Because my experience is you're creating the crumbs mostly.
If so.
Well, I mean, I've seen you cut sandwiches and stuff there without any.
But usually after that I'll wipe it down.
Okay, well maybe you can sharpen up that.
Okay. If you know.
Because and I just want, you know, Jeff to be able to say things to you because, like I said, he's my second in command. The coffee. So we really appreciate you always making coffee, but now whatever, it seems like you're watering it down.
No, that was I was going to make something, and I meant to pour out what was residual. I just made enough to make my iced coffee. I poured it in there, and I think it was
because you normally didn't make the coffee weird, and then one day, then I was thinking, well, if he's gonna start making it then please don't make so much.
That was just
one time.
Yeah, and what I did with that is I used the previous, there was coffee, I added a little bit to the coffee to make.
I understand. Yeah. All right. Well, as long
I
as
I just should have thrown it out. That was, you know. It was strong enough for iced coffee. It wasn't, like I said, like y'all like to make it.
Yeah. And
I'll refrain from making weak coffee.
well, we just didn't want you. You know,
yeah, I got
wants
it.
To drink
I
it,
got
it's
it.
a waste of coffee.
I got it.
But I have really appreciated you making coffee all the time because that's been sweet. So thank you for that. And
usually it's good, isn't it?
Usually it is.
Okay.
That's why I had said something.
Have you liked it? Okay. Okay.
Okay.
That was my one-time thing. I won't do that anymore. Or if I do like that, I'll pour out that residual stuff. What it was the coffee that was already in the grounds used. And I put a little bit on the top and then ran it through. And I probably ran too much water through it.
Probably, you know.
And I think by the time it finished, I was out of here.
Probably, yeah.
So, anyway, that's
That's what happened. Okay, that's fine. I understand that situation. I just wasn't sure what was happening because you've been busy. I thought maybe you were making a new standard of coffee for yourself or something. And also, thank you for not mostly leaving any personal items down here. That's something I'm still working with Jeff on because I gave him like places to put his things, but I give Jeff a little bit of slack on some things, which he knows I'll blow up occasionally and flip out. But I give him a lot of slack on some things because he is like hyper conscious about so many other things, and he helps me a lot. Like he's always fixing something or helping me remember something that I need to do around here. And that's why he's my second, so I want to implement the finding part so that it's something that is more heightened, that you pay attention to. I'm not saying everyone's perfect, but you like minding your own, like what are you following the house rules is more what I'm concerned about than whether or not you're pointing out that he isn't, because I already talked to him. We already do this. Ask him, you can ask him. We have our own routine about the house rules too. You know what I mean? So but I want to, we were talking about $5 per incident, I guess. Here's a few that were on the list that I've seen. Not that you have to pay for this, but in the future, if you continue doing that, then it's going to be a charge.
Okay.
And Jeff is going to be, because he's with you more often, he's going to be the one who likely will see it happen.
Okay.
So I don't want like you to yell and be mad.
No,
if it's...
I can be criticized and not yell. I mean,
as long as you feel respected, right? Yeah. Okay. Is there anything that you need to say, Jeff?
Well, I would just ask that anytime that you prepare food, that you, of course, there's a lot of stuff that you wash differently than I do, and I'm a believer that you get hot soapy water and you put stuff in it and you brush it, and then you whatever, rinse it off and put it up there, and then put it way later, an hour or two later, whatever, or dry it off right away. But there's so much stuff that gets put back in the silverware drawer, and a couple other plates and things that are so cruddy. I'll pick them up and I'll think, oh my God, I'm not even going to touch that one, And I think that comes from your habit of rinsing. And the water's running while you're doing this, so you might as well but if you use hot soapy water in the sink, when you get done, that's great for cleaning off cleaning off the countertop, cleaning off the stove, picking up the burners. Every once in a while, when I first got here, I spent a lot of time cleaning those burners and the tops of the racks and the tops of the burners, because people were
they all like burnt, encrusted with burnt stuff on them? Or?
Yeah, and of course you get so bad to a point that you can't get it off. But the other day I spent 20 minutes cleaning the whole right side of the stove, and I got it real nice and clean. I thought, yep, all that stuff's accumulated here in the past couple of months. And then I looked at the other side and I thought, no, I'm just going to leave that like that as an example. But I bet you if I took those racks off and clean them, and also the other, I occasionally really get to the stainless steel part of the bottom of the pan or the aluminum, and it's so disappointing for me when I pick up a pan to use it, and it sometimes has a little film on the side, but I turn it over and I see that oils or whatnot have gotten on the bottom, and they get burnt on the bottom, and so I'm back here again scrubbing and scrubbing and scrubbing. So yeah, if you could be more
conscientious.
Well, but I look for things, and my mom taught me, when you clean a pan, you clean this part, then you get the edges, and then you get the sides, because you don't know if you spilled something on the bottom and things like that. But Yeah, I go through sometimes I go to pick up a piece of silverware and I don't even want to, I'll go through a couple of them and say, oh, the hell with it, But, yeah, if you could just,
Okay, I can use the hot soapy water that's
and
in
then,
there.
like I say, it makes a wonderful, instead of running a damp sponge over something, you got hot soapy water you can do the counters with from the stovetop. And there's been splatters on the back of the stove. You don't see them unless you look at them, but there's little wet spots, little grease spots all over the place,
Mhm.
And I forgot to mention the thing about the paper towels being like used in excess. Just conscient. Our old roommate used to do this thing where he would grab like 5 paper towels to like clean a little spill like that and just throw them away. I don't know. I haven't seen a lot of it, but I have seen some of that that was like Tate-like behavior. I saw some paper towels that looked like they hadn't really been really used. He and I recycle. I mean, we'll have a paper towel for something, then let it dry, use it again. Like, we're kind of nuts about our paper towels. So like, if you could watch
Yeah,
the
usually
usage,
if I'm eating, I'll take one paper towel and use it as a napkin.
that's fine.
Yeah,
I actually
and-
think that's okay. But then if you use it as a napkin, you might also be able to reuse it to clean something else. I mean, if it's not too soiled.
Usually I blow my nose and I don't want to.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay. And then also, cleaning out the dish racks regularly is important because it just.
I've been doing that. I feel like, there's some there right now that I just washed earlier
Yeah.
when
Well, it's just when you cook, it really monopolizes things. So you got to
Okay.
be like on top of it because that means either no one else can cook or they have to stop and put your dishes away, and that just gets annoying.
Okay. I put stuff away this morning.
Okay.
That was.
Yeah, I
Well,
know. But
within-
just to give you an example, like the stuff that was in the basket this morning, that filled the basket, had been there since yesterday morning.
Okay. Maybe
It got added to, but stuff
Yeah.
stayed there, and then more stuff.
I
got
get,
put on
yeah.
it.
I felt like it was the stuff was wet, so I just let them there. But I put
They
every.
dry pretty quick.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Sometimes it's only an hour or two when something's dry. It just depends on what it is. But
Well,
I might
in
have
other
to-
words,
what time is
you
it?
could put stuff away multiple times a day. Is my point. It is. It's 11:34.
Okay. I'm
but
gonna
yeah,
need.
take a clean dish towel and dry them off, put them away.
Okay.
You're going to go to work. You're going to be gone for 8 hours, whatever. Dry them off, put them away, and go to work or
Okay.
something if you would.
Okay. Did this solve everything, or we need another?
It has for me. So, but if you do one of these, or I didn't write everything down that we just.
Is
sent
this my
them.
copy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Add some things here. So we're gonna add coffee in the table and paper towels, and I did say the dish rack here. So where placement? This one. So let's say, within. Should I say within a certain amount of hours? Because to me it's relative, but if you're not, you need to just have a habit because you haven't been noticing it so far. So sometimes it doesn't matter, sometimes it does matter. And if you're not doing it enough, you're just not going to know the difference. You know what I mean?
I felt like I was putting things away.
Yeah, if you're
I
going
think it's
to go out or
improved,
go
but
to
I
sleep,
also
dry things off, put them away.
I also think
Okay.
it's almost like every time you're in the kitchen, put something away. You know what I mean?
Okay.
If you
Well,
just start to.
I felt like I have, but I'll try to be more conscientious about all this. And I'm trying to get to where I'm going to have my own place here pretty quickly. So.
Oh,
Okay.
Michael, one other thing. That basket that's in the sink. And
Yeah.
I know Tony does it sometimes, especially since he
I-
recently
I-
started cooking.
I dump that stuff out every time that I put stuff in there. There's some kind of. Sometimes
I
I don't
know,
know
but-
what's in there.
It's like, well, it happens quite frequently, but you'll leave the house and I'll come down and there's this pile of flakes and whatever in there, and I'm thinking,
Usually I try to put it in the trash.
But-
Usually I try to put it.
like I was talking to her about, when you rinse a plate off, if it's got foodstuffs on it, remove the basket. In other words, I'm thinking, is he, why is he collecting this stuff? You know?
To dump it in the trash. That's what I was doing.
But then it sticks to it, and you put it back, and it's still got, especially like the cheeses and stuff you use, and the cheese sticks to the sink.
I need to run.
Anyway,
I need to run. Okay.
Okay.
Y'all have a good afternoon.
Okay.
And if we need another meeting, let's have another meeting.
Okay. Thank
Okay.
you.
Have a good day.
Good
Okay.
luck on your, are you working?
I've got another interview stuff, but I've got a meeting I'm trying to work with the people over at that West Side Oasis to go in there, possibly for the consumption lounge.
Okay.
So,
Right on.
okay. Okay, talk to y'all later.
Okay.
Okay, this is Bugsy.